Hi, Perminder. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing, Gurmi?
I'm doing good too. So thank you so much for coming on my channel today. I use this channel to basically talk about the CFA program and ask my guests to also share their experience with the CFA program, whether they are candidates or recent charter holders. And so you will be sharing us a little bit about your experience with Level 1, CFA Level 1. And before we start, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do from a professional point of view?
For sure. Firstly, thank you for having me in the podcast. I'm excited to share my journey. So, I work as a corporate pension analyst in Toronto. My role is all about making sure the pension plans run smoothly, let it be governance, compliance, or helping employees understand their retirement benefits. But beyond that, I also serve as secretary of advisory committee, where I present the investment performance, even the government's updates and funding strategies to the members of the committee. Another part of the journey that I'm proud of is being a guest lecturer for CEBS program that's offered by IFEBP in the US. I deliver review sessions there on various topics like risk management, and those sessions help professionals to prepare for their exam. So, if I say my work is a mix of technical expertise and then connecting the numbers to the real life impact. And what I've learned so far, that when you keep showing up and saying yes to the opportunities, doors open up that you've never imagined, right? So when I moved to Canada, I remember sitting in my tiny apartment wondering, where do I even start? And I didn't know anyone in the industry, but I believed that if I kept learning, staying consistent, something would click. So I would say for everyone who's listening and wondering if the change is possible, I would say it absolutely is.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So you said you were a corporate pension analyst.
Right.
Okay, so here's my question to you. What does a corporate pension analyst do?
So what do I do? In simple terms, I would say I make sure that the pension plans are well managed and compliant, and that the employees understand the retirement benefits. But it's more than just number, it's about security and trust. And as an analyst, I manage both DB and DC pension plan to ensure that compliance is there, and then strategic alignment as well. My day-to-day includes responding to the member queries, and then preparing annual filings like AIR and financial statements, and even coordinating the audits. I also work on SIP&Ps, and then also ensure adherence to CAPSA guidelines for governance and plan administration. A key part, I would say, of my role is supporting the pension plan decisions, like analyzing demographics, funding statuses, and then manager reports as well. That will help to contribute various plan decisions, right? Other than that, I also would say that I liaise with the consultants and trust companies, and especially during the large transactions or large projects like annuity purchases. So in short, I combine the regulatory compliance, member service, and investment governance together.
Gotcha. How long have you been doing this for?
It's been 4 years now.
Okay. Okay, nice, very interesting. And you mentioned at the beginning about the designation CEBS. And for someone like me who doesn't know much about it, do you want to tell us a little bit about what the program entails, and for someone who's interested in learning more about it, what they can expect from it?
Definitely. So CEBS stands for Certified Employee Benefits Specialist Program, and it's a program that covers pensions, health benefits, risk management, and many more topics. There are 5 courses in total. It takes about 1 to 2, or I would say 2 to 2.5 years to complete it. For me, CEBS was a foundation that opened doors to the pension space, actually. When I started the program, I honestly didn't realize the power of this designation, and then I thought it was just another certification, but actually turned out to be a game changer. It actually connected me with professionals across Canada. It gave me access to incredible resources, and even allowed me to become a member of Toronto chapter. That's for the ISCEBS, the International Society of CEBS. And it's a respected designation in the industry. It opened doors that I didn't know existed. So for anyone who's looking for making a career in pensions or benefits, I would say this is worth exploring.
Okay, wonderful. So you're the first person that I met that talk like know about this program, because I never heard of it, and it's quite interesting to learn that there is another designation in the industry which is all about pension. So it seems pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm happy that you spoke about this, and I also feel like because you have recently started with the CFA program, and I'm assuming that the knowledge that you have from this designation also helps with the CFA program, right?
It does. I would not say for everything, specifically for the pensions and benefits, and then making yourself more familiar with the regulations around. But CF is much more vast and broad, I would say, and CEBS is mainly focused on pensions and benefits only. So again, CFA gives you more exposure.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your experience with the CFA program. Where does this interest come from, and where do you see yourself with the CFA program?
Of course. So my interest actually started when I realized the pension is not just about administration. They are deeply tied to investments as well. I wanted to understand the asset allocation, portfolio management, and even the risk analytics, right? So how they are actually analyzing the risk at a deeper level. And CFA will bridge the gap between managing the liabilities and then looking at the investments from a different angle. So CFA gives you expertise in portfolio construction, market analysis, which then allows you to influence decisions like fund selection, de-risking strategies, and long-term sustainability. So I still remember the exact date, January 9th, when I registered for level 1. And that moment was exciting, but at the same time overwhelming. I think it's the same way for everybody because the curriculum is massive, right? So the first thing I did was I reached out to level 2 candidates to learn about their experience. And their advice was really gold. Someone told me I studied 5 hours a day for 6 months and then finished all modules 2 months early. Used that time for revision and practice question. And another one said, don't just rely on the practice questions, right? Read the material thoroughly and understand every bold term. So these conversations helped me shape my approach. And because CF is a beautiful journey, you learn a lot in it. And right, so you start connecting the things you might not have thought even existed, correct? So many new concepts and new topics train your brain to think broader, I would say. So when I reached out to CFA Level 2 candidates, and I started writing down my own rules for the journey, like start early, stay consistent, simple ones, right? Focus on understanding the concepts and just don't memorize the things. Even one of them told me that to use the prep provider, Mr. Ashwini Bajaj, who became my mentor for life. His credentials are incredible. He has CFA, FRM, CIA, CIPM, and many more. I can't really remember everything. But what stood out was his teaching style. And he talked about how you sit for long hours, study without distractions. And that really helped out, I must say.
Okay, so you said January. Is it January from this year that you have signed up? Okay, and I saw that you have recently passed the first level. So congrats. Okay. And so now so I really like the tip that you have shared about reaching out to people that have passed CFA Level 1 exam and are CFA Level 2 candidates. I think it's good to learn from other people who have just passed the exam. And I also like the rules that you have made for yourself. I think we do have to be our self-motivators because, like you said, it's very overwhelming. It takes a lot of your time and you study on your own. So that's we have to be quite disciplined when it comes to that. And I wanted to focus a little bit about your preparation with the CFA Level 1. I know you already touched upon a couple of things, but like what are some of the things that really worked with you, and what are some of the things they were like, no, this doesn't work?
Sure. But I would like to mention one more thing before I tell about the tips. Before enrolling, I would say ask yourself why you want to do CFA. That was the first thing that I had to decide as well. It's a fantastic program that builds a strong foundation in finance, but again, it's demanding, right? So choosing wisely is very important. CF is for those who want to manage the money, make investment decisions, while, for example, let's say CPA, right? It's for those who want to account for money or focus on auditing. And as being a pension analyst, I had both the paths that I could choose. That was a tough decision that I had to make. And after you decide, after you enroll, every single day would count, correct? So one thing is choosing the right prep provider, because for me, I'm kind of old school. I like the classroom teaching style. So I did not want the slides only kind of material. I wanted to make my own handwritten notes. So that helped me a lot. And I just think they stick better than just reading through the notebooks and write down everything by yourself. And other than that, I would say create your own formula sheet, mistake sheet, and even the trick sheet. So formula sheet is just a sheet with formulas, and mistake sheet is if I did anything incorrect in any of the questions, I have it written, so I don't have to go back to those questions. And at the same time, I also used to put in the mistake sheet like don't forget to leave the bracket at the end, or don't forget to write the formula correctly, or put a square at the end, right? So those things helped out. In the trick sheet, I used to put, for example, I'm solving 200 questions today. It's just impossible to go back, look at those 200 or see what mistakes I did, how these are to be solved. So I used to write down a different, like if suppose a new methods there or new criteria there to solve the question, I'll make the note of it. So next time I go back, solve new 10 questions, I know I can use that trick or modify it accordingly and put it into application. So that was the advice from my mentor as well. And it was a game changer, especially for the last minute revisions. Mm-hmm. And then leave enough time for revision at the end. Do not underestimate it. It really needs good revision because the syllabus is vast, and then we start learning things, say 9 months, 5 months, 6 months before the actual exam. So I did like 1.5 months of revision at the end. That was helpful too.
Yeah.
I think these are the tips, and understanding the syllabus, not just cramming, is an important part as well, because then it goes a long way with you, right? So it's challenging but incredibly rewarding, I must say.
Yeah, I really like your tips. I think no one ever spoke about some of the things that you have just mentioned, such as, well, the formula sheet we already know, but to have also the mistake sheet, and I think that's pretty good to have. Often, me too, when I would have mistakes, I would like write it down, like as I was doing it, but I would not write it in a separate paper. But I think it's good to have that in a separate paper, and it's a good strategy. I also liked the part where you mentioned about the revision, which is quite important. We should not underestimate it. And also to start as early as possible. So how many months did you study for level 1?
For me, I would say first 2 months were just used to build up the momentum. I was still trying to understand, try different prep providers. I actually tried 2 prep providers, and then I watched hundreds of videos on YouTube, because it's just so difficult to, get used to that kind of routine as well. So I started in January, the exam was in August, but first 2 months was not mainly studying. It was mainly finding out the right person and who I can just rely on, whose material is good enough so I can understand and take those new topics as well, right? So, and then the real prep came in. So
yeah,
that was the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you, Perminder. I think the tips that you have shared were excellent. Honestly, you have shared something new that my other guests never have shared. Before I let you go, do you want to tell us how people can connect with you?
For sure. So firstly, thank you so much, Urmi, again for having me. If anyone would like to connect, they can reach out to me by searching my name on the LinkedIn, Perminder Kaur. And Urmi, please feel free to include my LinkedIn link in the description as well, so listeners can connect, and I would be happy to continue the conversation.
Lovely. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.